Welcome to the weekly Wednesday reading. I usually come in and I will smudge as you enter into this video, and today I'm actually staying in a bed and breakfast in Avebury, UK, working with the sacred sites and unable to use smoke smudge. So I will take a moment and use some tuning forks to clear the energy in the space before entering into the reading. So just allow yourself to settle into your body. Relax, breathe, and center yourself to receive the messages coming through. And I'm clearing all the energies and all the emotions that are not in alignment with the highest and greatest good of all who watch this video. I'm also clearing my own energy field so that I may be a clear conduit to receive the messages and the guidance meant for those who are here. And so it is. So we just came through the 999 portal yesterday, and it was a very powerful and potent activating day. It is really a signature of moving into a completion point, and it's an entryway into a new phase of completion. So it's not that we go into this 999 portal and we're completing a cycle completely because that day has arrived. It is actually us going a little bit deeper into completing a karmic cycle by looking at the places where we are still in an old pattern that is preventing us from being in our highest expression and in our full ability as an infinite co-creator on the earth. So I know most of those that work with me are here as new earth leaders and really feeling that call to be in service. And in order to do that, and doing that in a way where we're fully authentic, it really is about getting out of our own way and allowing whatever programs and patterns and habits that have been there throughout either past lifetimes that we've pulled in or this current lifetime that we are aware of, to allow those things to really be released and to close that chapter. So it takes a little bit more attention in order for us to do this, especially with this nine frequency. The nine is the subtle body. The nine is, paying attention to the energetics. And what that means too, on a level, is your emotions, right? Because your emotions are energy in motion. So when you're experiencing a particular emotion, there is a message in there for you. So allowing yourself to really look at the places where you're holding yourself back and where you can put a little more focus and attention to clean that up so that you can move to the other side of that and be in the fullness of who you are here to be. So it's really also potent because we came out of an 8 year, and the 8 year was all about karma, releasing karma. So the 9 year now, it's the residual karma that is still lingering in our field, in our behaviors, and it's time for us to bring an end to this cycle because we want to be a clear and clean vessel as we move into a 10-1 year in 2026. And once we move into that clarity, we're going to be able to expand and create things that we can't even imagine. And that is already happening for some of us. So I can share, for instance, right now I am on a pilgrimage for 8 days with a very beautiful, dear friend who is she's a soul sister. She's been a soul sister for many lifetimes. And I'm really feeling that we are living in the new world, and this has been happening for some time. So for some of us, we've been feeling, I've said it in many videos before, one foot in the old world, one foot in the new world. And it's like, you may have all these blissful and massive, expansion experiences, and feeling completely connected in, and everything's in flow, and there's abundance flowing in, and then suddenly some part of your old experience of life is coming in and it interrupts and distorts, that frequency. And so that is what we're being asked to clean up, that residual energy. And so there are many tools that we have in our toolkit. So, really, it's about finding what works for you in the moment to clear the energy. And the way that we can, transmute things very, very quickly is by coming back into the present moment. Sound is really a quick way to shift the energy, the frequency, moving of the hands, moving of the body, you know, bringing hands to certain areas of the body, and just whatever you are being guided to do is what is best for you in that moment. And the way that you will receive what that is in clarity is to really come into stillness, into that presence, so that you will be guided what to do in that moment in time. So it really is about trusting our own wisdom, our own inner wisdom, and our own guidance, and what is being given to us as a directive from our higher self, which is within ourselves. Our higher self doesn't live out here. Yes, we have the energetics of our oversoul and the aura, and connecting into the universe and our guides and our angels and our star lineage and all of these things. However, everything is here and now, right in the center of our hearts. It is accessible. So again, as I say many, many times, coming back to our breath, coming back to presence is going to help us to receive that next step of what that is. So we are also in eclipse season. We are in this energy of the Pisces eclipse, and Pisces energy is, escapism. So that could be through food, through drugs, through alcohol, through, Netflixing, through, just being lethargic and not moving ourselves, So really paying attention to if some of these self-sabotaging patterns are coming back in, because that could come in as we are up leveling and upgrading. And eclipses are really an acceleration of consciousness. It is really an opportunity for us to expand and to leave the old behind so quickly. So it's a doorway, right? A doorway of closing one door of consciousness and then opening the door to another consciousness. And it is an acceleration of time. And so you might notice also during this eclipse portal, the bending of time, how time is very, very slow and then it speeds up. I know for me, this experience right now is much different than when I've been in other areas of the world experiencing an eclipse, because I've been working on sacred land where there are ley lines that are intersecting and doing activations and clearings and delivering codes to the land as receiving codes from the land. So I've been actually experiencing, and this could be, applicable to wherever you are in the world. I feel like when I share things that I'm going through, we are all reflections of each other. So you may be having this experience where you're having either life reviews of things that have happened in this lifetime, or what is happening for me in this moment in time is really piercing through the veil and being in interdimensional spaces. So, experiencing one timeline where I lived as a priestess, or experiencing another dimension where I'm connecting into galactic energy. Like, there is so much accessible at this point in time. And the more that we trust our own guidance, the more that we come back into that stillness, the more all of our gifts, all of our abilities come online, which is also part of that nine frequency. That nine frequency is all about mastering our gifts, our soul gifts, which really truly means being masterful, being fully aware of what's coming through in each and every moment. And that is the only way that we can allow these gifts to come in. If we are clogged up, in our energetic field, carrying entities around in our body, being run by even that escapism that I'm talking about. So even having like one drink can completely shift your consciousness, and it can hijack your system. So really being mindful of all these aspects, um, So I feel like let's get into the cards. There's a lot I'm unpacking here, of what's being channeled through. It's just a really potent time. So just knowing that extra self-care at this time, extra rest is going to be beneficial as well, to really know what's meant for you at this time and tuning into your next steps. So a few cards popped right out of the deck right now. The first card does not surprise me. Fire of Transformation. And it's the Phoenix. It's such a and see the heart. The heart is the portal. It is the portal of transformation. So it says radical purification, violet flame, surrendering, and resurrection. So 10 is the radiant body. That is where we're going next year. So that is what I was saying, is that we are already experiencing the 10 frequency, the 10-1 frequency. So 1 foot in the old world, 1 foot in the new world. And when we're going through this process, it's asking us to purify, right? Radical purification. So purify everything. The violet flame comes up in this. That's the energy of Saint Germain. So you might be working with Saint Germain to clear energy. You can use the violet flame both internally and visualizing it to clear any of the impurities out of your system. So that's another technique that you can use to really clear the channel. You can also use it in your space to create sacred space, to clear the space. So that's something we've been doing here as we're journeying through the different places, is using sound, using frequency to clear energy. You can also do this like with visuals and, calling different energies in to clear the space. We've also used dragon energy to clear the lands when there's other people that are around, to protect us in our own field as we're doing the work that we are here to do on the land. If we don't have privacy, if a place is really, really busy, it really just helps to call in the help, to use these visuals and to use those tools. So that is another tool that may resonate for you, to use the violet flame. So just basically visualizing a violet flame moving through your body and burning away any of the impurities, and transmuting everything back into pure light consciousness so that you are a clear channel. So we also have surrendering and resurrection. So knowing that we are here right now to trust the process, to let go, to hand it over, and not in a way where it's like handing over the power. It's knowing that we have the power within us. And just that surrender is the sacred stillness. It's that trust of not needing to manipulate a situation or have an expectation on a situation, or think we know how it has to be, or trying to figure it out from a mind space. That is the truth of surrender. Surrender is to let go of all of those things, letting go of perfectionism, and just allowing the next step to come through. We've been so programmed to be 10 steps ahead and to figure out the whole storyline before we even have, the title of the next chapter, right? So it really is important to come back again and again to that space of stillness. And from that space, it's our resurrection, right? Cleaning and the purifying. And when we resurrect, we're going to be coming into that 10 frequency. And that 10 frequency is our radiant body. It is the universal wisdom and all of the codes within us that carry that universal wisdom. It is our royal courage and radiance to bring forth our gifts, our message, our uniqueness in our fullness, in our authenticity. And so that is where we are going. And so this cleanup of that 9 frequency, the 999 portal was one entry point. We have 2 more 999 portals, both on the 18th of September and the 27th of September, which are 2 more opportunities of going a little deeper into that. And I truly believe the 1111 portal this year on November 11th is that entryway where we're really going to accelerate into that 10 frequency. Especially for those of us who are feeling 1 foot in the old world, 1 foot in the new world. It's going to be it's going to be a turning point. It's a choice point where we can shift right into that energy and pre-wave for the year to come. So then the 9 will support us, and it will shift from the cleanup into a purification of our power, of our own personal power, of our gifts, of our abilities, and everything you may be noticing already amplifying. This actually comes in with the eclipse energy so strongly too, is our psychic abilities, telepathy, intuition becoming stronger, receiving messages, receiving guidance, connecting with people that are helping us on our path, right? It's like they're giving us the next piece of the puzzle. So things happening very synchronistically in that way. So the next card that comes through is Angelic Ones. Divine healing is upon you, divine grace and divine guidance. So this comes right into alignment with all of it. So working with that purity of energy. And some of you may be called to work with the divine light from the angelic realm and connecting into those guardians that are here to work with us. And we all have guardian angels, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. So they are present right now. They are here with us and they are holding space for us. And that's one thing that, we don't think about all the time, but we can ask our guides for assistance. We don't have to do it alone. Yes, we have soul family coming in. And so, like on the physical plane, we are having the support that comes in. But we also always have it in the etheric realms, in the multidimensional realms, in the heavenly realms. So simply asking for help, for guidance, being aware that they are around and acknowledging their presence so that they may be of assistance can be very helpful at this time. So divine grace and divine guidance. Your guidance is coming in so strongly right now. It's all in alignment with this 9 frequency. It truly is. So trust what is coming in for you at this time. The dolphin energy, that's Lemurian energy too. And with that Lemurian energy, it's the heart center opening. It's the unconditional love. Working with crystals may be something that you do. It's time to work with them. I have a few here that I brought with me on this particular journey. So I have a traveler skull, picking up the codes, receiving the messages. And I'm just going to bring this into the screen because simply looking at these beings can be activating. And then this one is all about speaking from our truth, right? And moving from our solar plexus, where we are in our personal will, and moving into our divine will, our divine expression. So she is a beautiful fairy being, this star being with so many codes. So really acknowledging these realms that are around us and being in reverence is such a potent way of being at this time. Being in reverence, walking on Mother Earth and being aware of the elementals, being aware of, the fairies, the elvins, the gnomes, all of the, otherworldly beings that are present here. They are all here. We truly are only seeing what we are allowing ourselves to see. And the more that we can open our vision, the more that we can lift that veil, lifting the veil of illusion, right? And that's what we've been, again, it's a conditioning in the illusion in this 3D matrix, which is inverted. And the more that we can unveil our own inner eye, unveiling, so we're seeing with the inner eye, not just our 2 eyes that are looking around. As we do that, as we internalize it and we open to that, we start to see more. And they will trust to be seen when we are opening into that field. And that's when it can get really fun and really, really exciting, because things start happening and it's really surprising, all of the help that is around and all of the codes that we have left here to reclaim so that we are fully here in our wholeness. And from that space of wholeness, that divine sacred union within of the feminine and the masculine, and all of the aspects of our gifts and abilities, the more that we are in that space of wholeness, the more that we are able to share with the world the codes that are going to help the entire planet shift into the 5D frequency and beyond, which is what we are here to create as a new earth frequency. And new earth truly is true earth, right? It is not the inverted matrix, it is the real experience of the multidimensional realms of everything we are here to experience in bliss, in joy, in love, and happiness. So just know that it's here. It's here. It's a matter of being in alignment and to stay open. Stay open. Okay, and again, joy, playfulness, the dolphins are bringing in play. So that is important. It's okay to relax, smile again, share your flow. So that's the thing. Healing can get so serious. Some people can get stuck in a healing loop. And it just is like, okay, I still have to heal this. I still have to clear this. Or I'm not ready to share my gifts until I have perfected this, or I'm fully healed, or whatever our story that we've attached to is, it's not real. It's just like wipe your hands clean from that because it's not real. It is not real. This is what we need. We need more play. We need more joy. We need more expression of fun, right? So if you get stuck in that healing loop that I'm not there, I'm not good enough, I haven't healed enough, or if you get really locked into a specific aspect of your healing that has not cleared, sometimes the answer is just going out and having fun, and to be having fun in a way where we remember that childlike innocence, you know, and really feeling that bubbly, giggly joy, that expression of, you know, not really caring about all of the seriousness of the world, because we also need that lightheartedness in order for the world to shift, because everything has become so serious. With the chaos, with the destruction, with the distortion, with all of that, so the question is, where are you focusing your attention? Where are you focusing your energy? And maybe it's time to redirect your focus, redirect your energy, and allow yourself to have fun. And also rest. Rest is important. Sacred rest is so important. In a world where we are going all the time, if we don't rest, we are unable to receive the integration and unable to process what's actually happening, especially at this time during the eclipse. If you can take extra rest, it is going to help you to fully integrate the codes coming in. I know it sounds very strong saying we're being blasted with light codes and frequencies, but we are. We truly are. And it's, we're built for it. It might feel overwhelming, but we are never given more than what we can handle. And if, we choose that we don't want to take part in it, that's usually when we check out. So that's something, if you want to keep moving into this space of expansion, that to look at those places of escapism, to look at those places where we check out, where we numb out, right? That's that Pisces energy of this eclipse. This first 2 weeks of the eclipse is all related around Pisces, and Pisces is also our intuition. It is our psychic gifts. It's also illusion, right? It's also isolation. It's also, the monk that went into the cave and renounced everything. It is the nun that renounced everything. And so if you can look at those places where you are isolating, where you're going very internal in a, let's call it a destructive way of, and escaping, know that we are meant to be going out now in the world as we're approaching the next eclipse, which will be in Virgo, which is all about sacred service. So it really is truly about transforming those energies of where we're still hiding our gifts. So you may want to also reflect on if you are afraid of being yourself fully in your spirituality. And I understand there is a fine line between who we're hanging out with in the moment in time and how much we share, because obviously if it's not going to be received and we're not in a company or a space where they are, aware of that energy or of intuition or any of those things, we're not about to go and tell them about the download that we had yesterday, right? However, are you censoring yourself in places where you could potentially be yourself a little bit more? And just noticing where you might have fear that you're holding in your body, where you might have fear around sharing your voice authentically or fully being who you are. And remember, it's not even, and this is really coming in strong, it's not even about speaking into your spiritual gifts and your abilities. It's about just embodying them and being the emanation of that. Because even those who may not be fully open to have a conversation about things, if you're someone who is receiving some guidance to share with somebody, do you doubt and do you stop and say, well, what are they going to think? Or maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'm going to share something actually. This is really, really an important thing. My brother was going to go on a ski trip. This is a couple of years back. And I heard my intuition tell me to tell him not to go on the trip, like to think twice about going on the trip. And I brushed it off. I was like, oh, well, no, I'm not gonna judge. He can do whatever he wants to do. But it was, I receive a voice. That is one of my strongest intuitions. And I feel like at that time I was just developing the trust and the fullness of like it, and it's like a trust, yes, but also being quiet enough to fully receive it within myself. And I heard it and I just was like, yeah, no, that's okay. So he went on this trip and he ended up falling and he had a concussion. And he was, opening up into some things in his life where things were starting to go really well in the direction that he wanted them to go in, and just things that were unfolding with his creativity. And then all of a sudden it was like this pulled him back a little bit. And I had said to him, I had this message come through to tell you not to go on that trip. And he's like, please tell me anytime you have a message come through, please tell me next time. So even just receiving that message back from him, it taught me so much to trust, to trust that when I'm receiving a message for somebody that strongly, that there is something that is required for me to say, and they can choose to do whatever they want to do with that message once it is received, whether they choose to take it in and fully receive it or say, no, 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 that's fine, right? But at least I'm doing my part. So this is the question. Are you fully trusting? Are you fully allowing yourself to be in your wholeness, in your gifts and your abilities? And remember, it's not about having the full conversation of spirituality with every person you meet. No, it's about embodying your gifts and abilities. And when there's something coming through, trusting that guidance and following through with it. And again, the next card that came through, Blue Ray Being, Direct Divine Expression, Bridge Between Dimensions. Okay, it can't be any clearer. That is everything that I was just talking about. You are the bridge. You are the bridge between dimensions. The beings are coming through, the messages are coming through, right? So the beings are your guides. They're coming through strongly for you now. And you are the bridge. And you are the bridge between dimensions because there are those here on Earth right now that are fully immersed in the 3D reality, fully immersed in the chaos. Their focus is, and they might be fully immersed, but then also a little curious, or they've been into like spirituality and then they get, pulled back, and then you are the bridge. So this is the message. You are the bridge. You keep moving, you keep going into that higher frequency, working on clearing your channel, being the emanation of divine expression, fully being your divine expression. And as you do that, you are the bridge for those people to join, right? So as long as you're holding that frequency and holding that state within yourself, you are going first, you are the leader. And it's not about leader follower in a hierarchical way. It is about you standing in the fullness of who you are, you standing in your full divine sovereign expression. And that will give others permission to do the same. I've had this conversation with a friend of mine a few times, and I remember like it was probably about 4 years ago we were talking about that, being the bridge, being the bridge. It's like at this moment in time, it is required for us to hold that frequency and to still reach our hand out to those who are not fully in this frequency, to be available for them. And the more of us that come online into this higher frequency, that's going to create this ripple effect of shifting the planet at a more accelerated rate. And we are moving towards that 144,000 where we're all holding that frequency and we're not drifting back into the old, into the inverted matrix anymore. We're holding that frequency and the Earth's grid will light up and we are going to completely shift in our reality at that moment in time. And it is happening already on an individual basis. There are those of us that are having a full on 3D experience, and there are those of us that are having a full on 5D and beyond experience. And so all you have to do is ask yourself, which one do I want to be in right now? It's a choice. It's a choice to be in love. It's a choice to be in fear. It's a choice to be in bliss. It's a choice to be in misery. We really have a choice every single moment of our life. And that's where our true power lies. That's where our true power is. We forget that we have a choice. And yes, there will be moments where our emotions get the best of us, and there will be moments where we are meant to feel the emotions and allow them to move through us. Sometimes all that's required is a conversation to move them. Sometimes we have to feel them to move them. Sometimes we have to just shift our attention and do something completely different, move our body, move our energy, and that's going to completely shift it. And I heard this the other day about spiritual bypassing. If there's an emotion and we don't like it and we choose to do something completely different to shift it, like, maybe we go out with a friend and maybe we go to the gym and that shifts our energy. That's not spiritual bypassing. We are meant to feel good. We are meant to be joyful. We are meant to be blissful. You know, life in and of itself can be a spiritual experience. And like I said earlier, we don't need to be stuck in the healing loop, right? It's not, that was part of the old world. That was part of the old frequency. That was part of the patriarchal paradigm that something is always wrong with us and we need to fix it. And the truth is, we don't need to fix anything. We are already fully who we are here to be. It's about releasing and deprogramming and clearing all of that story and just returning to the truth. It's a knowingness, it's a beingness, it's a feeling. And the more that we return to it, the more we open to the magic and the miracles that are available every single day of our lives. So thank you so much for being here with me today. If you're new to my channel, I don't even think I said this at the beginning. My name is Carolyn Marie Yakopich. I'd love for you to subscribe and like the video. It helps it to get out to more people out there. And yeah, I will be back next Wednesday. I'll be probably taking a little bit of a break for the next week or so until Wednesday, as I will be continuing this journey through the sacred sites in the UK and really fully integrating it. So, really looking forward to touch base with you very soon as we move into the next eclipse and enjoy this eclipsing period of time. Sending my love and blessings, and I'll see you soon.